in Emporium. In the Philippines, I want to say magandang umaga ho sa inyo lahat. And for the people in the US watching this live at the Emporium, good evening, everybody. Thank you for taking the time to at least check it out. Check us out. Emporium is a unique US based, the first of its kind. Okay, the first of its kind. It's a Philippine-made and inspired product showroom and global business center. And its purpose is to create awareness as well as sales opportunities for Philippine-made products, services, and investments in the US market. And Emporium is actually a physical place. Like I said, that's where I'm at right now. It's located at 3250 Wilshire Boulevard, number 602 in Los Angeles, California. So if you want to come and visit, please do so. We welcome you. Just go ahead and let us know when you're coming. Thank you. But what the Live Emporium is, this is one of the tools that we use to create the awareness, the sales opportunities by people watching, and hopefully organically, or what we're doing on social media is reaching other people. And I think it is. At the end of the day, what we want is that awareness creation. Okay, so that's what Live at the Emporium is. And today it is packed full of amazing stuff. Hello, everyone. You are about to watch what I'd like to think is informative, possibly even life-changing, but at the least thought-provoking. And I'm referring to the show that you're about to watch. It's called Live at the Emporium Special Edition, and the title is called Retire in Style with Espy. And as you know, Emporium is about trying to create awareness and sales opportunities for Philippine-made products, services, and investments in the US market. And with that being said, this is one of the tools that we use, which is Live at the Emporium, and also the collaboration that we've created with the show that you're about to watch and its host. The host is very informative, the host is very knowledgeable, and the host is very personable. And she sometimes, or I shouldn't say sometimes, most of the time, she's coming up with different ways to really create this awareness or something that you want to think about when it comes to possibly retiring in the Philippines and investing in the Philippines, as well as anybody in the Philippines who wants to take advantage of also how to invest in the real estate market in the US market. So with that being said, stay tuned and be truly educated and hopefully also entertained. Here's Espy.
It's a beautiful day, no worries today. Cool breeze outside my window. This is the life. You're set for life. Just loving life. Retire in style with Espy.
Hello. Thank you, Ferdy, for giving me this platform. I really appreciate all the work that you do. This is the technical part of live streaming, and thank you so much for doing this for me. But anyway, I am looking forward to bringing in a lot of content and information through our guests tonight. And of course, our topic today is from empty nesters to thriving entrepreneurs, how baby boomers are making the Philippines their golden destination. Okay, so tonight I have some guests with me. One is a personal friend of mine, Dr. Celeste Paz, and she is an ophthalmologist from the Bay Area and was running two optical offices, one in Daly City and in Fremont. So she was a friend of mine, a neighbor in Fremont, and also we were patients of hers too. So another guest I have right now is, of course, our none and only Commissioner Eric Elnar of the Philippine Trade and Investment here at the consulate in Los Angeles. So I'm really, really honored that he's giving us some time tonight to share all the opportunities that our government is giving us, and promoting, so that we can use Philippines as another alternative for retirement or for investment. So, what about if Ferdy, can you put my video for now? Yes, thank you so much. Yes, tonight here in the Philippines, and this morning in oh no, tonight here in California, and this morning 10 o'clock in the Philippines. I'm so confused because I'm either in the Philippines or in Manila during this live stream. So anyway, I am so passionate about this retiring style, because about 10 years ago, I got into this heart of finding out how the baby boomers are going to retire, especially my kababayans. And I've been going back and forth in the Philippines over the years, and I noticed that there's a lot of Filipinos who are going and living and also spending some time in the Philippines every 6 months or every 3 months, and enjoying themselves, and at the same time doing outreach, at the same time doing their investment or planting little seeds there. And eventually they decide that they would be retiring there in the Philippines for a certain period of time. So with the market today, a lot of people are just so much in fear and concern about what's going on. And what I can say to you is, I have been through several of these dips in the market, and the most important thing that I can tell you is to focus and to learn. Focus on your situation, find your solution, look at your aces, all your assets, gather them and check them out, and talk to people. Reach out to friends of yours, reach out to your CPA, your tax preparer, your your lawyers, the professionals in your network, and learn from them. Okay, even this video can give you a piece of information. If I can give you one piece of information to share here with you, and idea, I would be really content. I think I did my good job. So tonight, we want to talk about how the empty nesters are thriving and as entrepreneurs, and using Philippines as a golden destination. So a lot of you know that there's more and more people are doing that now, where they go out from, let's say, California. There's a caravan moving to other states or moving to other countries, like Belize. I have a friend in Puerto Rico. I have another friend who's thinking of going to Portugal. These are options. But why not Philippines? Philippines is a English speaking country. They're very, very adaptive. They're very welcoming. It's a beautiful country, and it's yours. Why not go home there part of the time, as part of your retirement plan? So, can we bring our guest now, Ferdy? Let's. How about Eric and Celeste? so I can give an overview of what they will be talking about. So Celeste is a personal friend of mine, as I said earlier, and about 20 years ago, she had been going back and forth the Philippines doing an outreach on her own as an eye doctor, and she was doing a lot of medical missions. And during this time that she was doing that, there was an opportunity that she was offered a property in Palawan, and it's a coconut farm right on the beach. Okay. So she's going to talk about that, what she did with it. And over time, while she was going back and forth and still working on her two clinics in Daly City and in Fremont, she was at the same time slowly building up her business in the Philippines, the travel agency, and also the resort, using people that she knows, that she met, and even friends or old classmates who designed actually the beach for her. And at the same time, our commissioner here of Philippine Trade and Industry and Investment would like to share with us, Mr. Eric Elnar would be sharing with us all the different opportunities that are available in the Philippines. And of course, these are all a mouthful. So what we plan to do today is to just give you a taste and an idea. That way you can make your own, because each person have their own journey, have their own strategy, and you can always come to us, come to me, ask me question, reach out to me, don't be shy, and I will tell you, or I will share you what I know and all my resources, because as a senior real estate specialist, what I specialize on are establishing network and connections with professionals that can help seniors transition from their home to downsizing to reverse mortgage to get a cash flow on their fat equity right now, and how they can move on and get a real good, meaningful life when they retire. Okay, so first of all, Miss, I call her Miss because she's also a single mom like me. Miss Dr. Celeste Paz, can you share with us your journey? What happened? I know that I've been to your place and I'm so proud to be there. How beautiful you turned it out, and all these resources that you have shared to the local people there.
Well, good morning here in the Philippines and good evening in the United States. I'm really very thankful, SB, to be in touch with SB over the years, and I really admire her so much for her vibrant endeavor to really promote the Philippines, and because I think the Philippines is a very viable way of investing, not only your life but also sharing that good life with other people, and with me, with SB, it's been a very special interaction because we were also involved in medical missions, and that's how I met her through. After 10 years of being so busy with our lives, we got back together as volunteers with the Lions Club, with especially joining my vision projects in the Philippines. So anyway, I never really envisioned myself to own any property. It just came by itself. And I just, slowly got involved in it. And over the years, and then the opportunity came because the area was full of eco destinations. So it brought me the idea of, bringing people back to the beautiful place so people can share the beautiful nature around and the eco destinations. So Palawan has been now in the forefront of the last frontier of the good nature
Yes,
of
in fact,
in
I
the
was
Philippines.
there. Yeah, we were there again, 2020. I visited your resort, and yes, why don't you go ahead and show us Crystal Paradise? I'm pretty sure a lot of people are really interested in seeing what you created there, and what you did, and how you worked with the locals.
Certainly. So if you can show the video, I can talk more about it. And I never really envisioned on it that it was going to be a business. I thought all of a sudden, because of my medical missions, I was offered a property a beachfront property for sale. So I just slowly developed it over the years. It was a slow work growth of slow project, slow, over the 20 years. So, but it evolved into something beautiful because I got the whole village, the whole community involved. And so started a lot of festivals. In fact, in Palawan, I started the Rice Granary or the Palay Festival in Nara. And then all of a sudden, all the townships in Palawan had their own uh, particular festivals, like the Coconut Festival, the Banana Festival, the Kuibag, the Cave, the Coconut. So everything, so it's been a joy over the years that, to see that I've been able to contribute for people to develop some festivals and it's been a tradition for over the 20 years. So I'm just so thankful I've been a part of that. And now that I developed the Farmers, the Harvest Festival, I'm now developing a few festivals to offer to the fisher folks. So instead of having the bazaars in the downtown little booths, then maybe they can set up their bazaars out in the beach in their own little boats. So anyway, that's something in the works. And also a lot of new island sites like the Balabac Islands. I'm helping to promote that. So I've been actively involved now with the DOT, the Department of Tourism, but it's been a grassroots level type of development. So I feel blessed that I'm surrounded by people that are so helpful, and of course, knowing and discovering all. I cannot discover all the islands in the Philippines, but one island at a time, and we can offer you that. And that's how my Halika tours evolved, because after spending some time at my place, relaxation with the spa, eating breakfast with the birds, and having natural food, starting off with the buko juice or the young coconut juice as the welcome drink, and a lot of wholesome wellness type of organic food that we have. So it's been really a pleasure just to offer the best in the area. So that's how Crystal Paradise Resort Spa and restaurant got evolved. We used to have a winery, but it got kind of postponed because of the big pandemic, but hopefully we want to revive it back again. So anyway, so it's never a dull moment. Of course, there's been always ups and downs. The most down has been the pandemic, the effect of that economically, and also the last two typhoons that we had. So of course, you cannot fight Mother Nature. But anyway, there's just ways to just relax and move on forward. So anyway, I just wanted to share my life with you. You don't have to wait 20 years to develop my business. You can just start small. There's a lot of land opportunities and very at low cost. So as low as 500 pesos a square meter. Could you believe that? That's only like 10 pesos a square meter. So anyway, a lot of opportunities here in the Philippines, beautiful nature. So if you're not fussy, you can develop your own vacation mansion, little hut, however you like it. But so it's been, just a natural process for me. And if you have any questions, just let me know. But one good thought is I kind of envisioned, I've been doing a lot of visits to care homes in the U.S., and I did not really see myself envisioning myself being cooped up in a room with a 24/7
right.
TV.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes?
yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah. Because that's the reason why I got this retirement style concept, is because if you don't get out there and be involved and do some outreach yourself, what happens is that we slowly die. We slowly feel all kinds of pains or sickness and all that. But when we go out there and think about our other people and do some outreach and give more purpose in your life, then things happens. And that's what I really encourage other people to do, to really go out there and find different things to do. Of course, you like to be spending some time with your family too, but when you're empty nesters, it's sometimes this is the time that you look for, or you search within you something that is another purpose. The kids are gone. All the kids are gone. They start having their own family, and then it's just you or your husband are together. And of course, it's good to go for cruises and travel and all the vacations and reunions. But then after that, what? Sometimes you feel like there's something else that you would like to do. So I really commend Dr. Paz, being that she could actually just be cruising around the world and enjoying herself, after selling all her assets, but here she is. She decided to go here and create this beautiful paradise. And also during that time, right now, what she's doing is she's imparting her skills and resources and knowledge, to the locals. And she's doing a lot of training there, seminars, very creative during the pandemic. I know that she have done all different kinds of programs there to encourage people to go in there, not just as not only to enjoy the resort, but also to learn something from her, whether it's her winemaking, mushroom growing, or culinary arts training. She's done it all, and she assimilated herself with the place, with the locals. So, can I ask you a question, Celeste? I call you
Yes,
friend Celeste. Yeah.
yes,
So
go
during
ahead.
this pandemic, how did you feel your time? I know that you had some challenges because um, pandemic, people cannot travel. They cannot go and visit. So what did you do during this time?
Well, I had a skeleton crew, obviously, to take care of the grounds, and we started some gardening, herbals, and just gardening our everyday vegetables. And then I started mushroom culture and a lot of agri organic farming type of techniques.
Mhm.
And I also empowered people, had some seminars, training for food and beverage. In fact, my staff is so well trained, they can serve in the royalty wedding, you know, events because
Yeah,
that's
she's
how
famous
good
to
they're
be.
so trained.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then
it is a
they can be
destination.
good people to be employed at the royal cruises. So
Uh-huh.
anyway, so my staff have been empowered, so I feel really good that they feel that they have their self-esteem and self-confidence, and this is what that's really very nurturing for them. And I feel good because I'm able to impart, some um, to improve their quality of life, and to respect other people and cultures. So it's been a really very rewarding experience.
Mm-hmm. So this one is actually like 13 hectares of with a beachfront, right? Is that
It's almost 11 hectares.
11
May-
hectares?
Maybe with low tide it will be 13 hectares.
Okay. So is that the whole resort, or is just a portion of the resort is on
Oh,
that?
the resort, the commercial portion is only 2 hectares, which is the front end commercial zone. The rest is the farming, agricultural zoned area. So that's the area where actually we have developed native chickens. We have native chickens, and in the back, and
Mm-hmm.
so we started to develop that during the pandemic also.
Mm-hmm.
So
So to share with the audience, how were you able to put this all together? I mean, where did you finance this all from your money, or were you
oh
able?
yeah, it was just a slow work and project over the years. So I started out with a coconut grove full of brown sand, and over the years we they were all covered up with green grass and
Was
manicure
there
grass.
limitations because you were what was your status? Were you a dual citizen right away, or?
Oh yes, yeah, I was a dual citizen before I started the medical missions, and it was easier to acquire land and businesses by being a dual citizen. I
Okay.
think it's easier access towards the local entry, the business level entry. So, but My suggestion is be involved with the municipality. They have their own mayor's permits and codes of excellence of health and sanitary impact inspections. So everything is
Yeah.
really kosher just to protect the environment. So I'm really very pleased with my involvement with the municipality, the local government units. And so I've been really well involved with the community. So
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
it's
so that's the
and
good thing, because if you give, you give something, you do community outreach, you get to know the locals, you get involved there, they know you, they feel comfortable with you, and then they
Mhm.
see all your ideas and how you perform or how you work, and how you deal with the locals. They have more of an open door on what it is that you are going to create in their area, right? Other,
Right, yeah.
yeah, if
Yeah,
you
I'm actually trying to emphasize to bring back the Pinoy pride in us because a lot of people are going overseas. It's a brain drain syndrome,
Mhm.
but a lot of them have decided to come back and invest in the Philippines, and so
Okay.
it's been a very good way to booster the economy of the Philippines, but at the same time appreciate all the goodness that's around you. Just like Paulo Coelho's famous book, The Alchemist,
Mhm.
that my life has been turned around and brought back to full circle, back to where the treasure is, which is in the
Right,
Philippines,
right,
my
going
home
back home.
country. Yeah,
Going back
right.
home. Yes,
Mm.
yes. So for our audience here in California and in United States, I know that right now there's a lot of turmoil or a lot of concern about the interest rate, about the debt ceiling and all that. So what I can say to you guys is focus on your asset, focus on what you have rather than what you don't. Okay? So there's here in United States, statistically, there's about 10,000 baby boomers who turn 65 every day. And there's a smaller, with the inflation, our social security, our pension is getting to be smaller and smaller. Plus, with the interest rate going up from 3.5% since January of 2022 until now, which is at 6% or even climbing to 7%, you know, then the house that you can buy is really getting smaller too. But remember, if you are a homeowner for 30 years or more and you have that equity saved up, don't live on that old, big, empty house. Try to downsize. I can show you how to downsize. Just like what Celeste did. She downsized. She liquidated some of her assets in the in Fremont and moved some of them little by little, used to finance whatever she created in the Philippines. So it's not an overnight thing. You can do that slowly, but preparing yourself is the best way to do it. Find out where your assets are and see what you can do with it. Whether it's in the Philippines, if you have some lots in the Philippines, we can help you liquidate that. Or if you have properties here, you can downsize, or you can do reverse mortgage to get some cash flow. And because we do have, me as an SRES, I am networked with all the different professionals that can help seniors transition, from moving to staging to repair, all the way to the tax implications, all the way to, how are you going to do your long-term care, all of that. You're a financial advisor. I have all these network of people that I constantly bring in and connect. Just like with Commissioner Eric Elnar, who's a very very good resource for those who wants to go back to the Philippines. So that's what I wanted to share with you. And of course, thank you, Celeste, for sharing with us some of your accomplishment. And of course, our audience here, look for Crystal Paradise in Nara, Palawan. And she can also arrange your trip with Halika Tours. She will have her information here later, and you can always reach out to us. We can give that information to her. Okay. So if you and your family wants to get to make something together, then this is a perfect way. With Dr. Paz. because she lived here in the Bay Area. She knows how you think and your standard, and she would be able to treat you with her trained staff how to really enjoy the resort and Palawan. Okay, so right now what we want to do is to take a little break again. Ferdy, can we take a little break and show again an overview of that nice video of Dr. Paz of Crystal Paradise by
Okay,
itself?
thank you very much, SB.
All right.
And just like I just wanted to share with you the iconic Filipino greeting now. The acceptable Department of Tourism greeting is this way. Good morning, mabuhay, magandang umaga po, mabuhay, salamat po. This is now the iconic way of Filipino greeting that's being promoted throughout the Philippines. Started from the Department of Tourism. It's not this, it's this now. This is the iconic Filipino greeting. Okay? Mabuhay!
Thank you so much. And this portion, I would like to introduce to you Commissioner Eric Elnar. He's going to be talking about the different incentives and maybe some samples of businesses that you can actually invest on in the Philippines if you want. If you are planning on retiring there, usually you retire there partially. You go every 6 months or every quarter until you become really accustomed. And most of the people, that's what they do is they I call them balik-balikan. They don't burn the bridges here in the United States. They go grow something or they start something in the Philippines, and then portion of the time they would go back in the Philippines, and then they will also go back here and spend some time in the United States where their kids are or their apos are, and travel from one kid to another or explore, and also of course taking care of business like their taxes and their health issues. So right now that's what they're still doing. So Commissioner Eric, I know that you have a lot of content that you want to share with us, so why don't we highlight that, and then we can do some little bit of QA as to what are the practical things right now that we can share with the audience that they can actually implement, with the present situation this time. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. SP. Thank you for having me here. And before I start, I just want to mention that I think I'm also monitoring reverse migration of sorts. There was a migration maybe 4 or 5 decades ago from the Philippines to the US, mostly of professionals, no? But now I see a lot of Filipino Americans, usually second, third generation Philams, going back to the Philippines and starting their own business in the Philippines. So I think this is a good way of enriching our bilateral relationship with the US, between the US and the Philippines. And and I think that's the same thing that Dr. Paz mentioned earlier, that there's this migration already happening, and also we anticipate that there's a lot more coming because of the baby boomers coming of getting to their retirement age. So if we could pull up my slides again.
Yeah.
I hope I don't lose my voice. So I'm just gonna share with you some investment opportunities that you could consider in the Philippines. Next slide, please. Excuse me. So first, of course, is franchising. So franchising advantages are, you have proven systems and procedures already in place. You would be given an operations manual by the franchisor. There's already a defined product or service. The franchisor is responsible for continuous research and development, so that you have continuous products, new products coming out on the line, including store design and merchandising. You get help on that, marketing campaigns and support services. So we are familiar with some of these brands, and some of them are already here in the US, like Jollibee, Max's Restaurant. Shakey is actually a US brand that went to the Philippines, but now it's expanding in the rest of Asia, but from its master franchisee in the Philippines. So it's quite a story. Next slide. And then there's also online businesses. So we have a lot of this online businesses coming out, especially during the pandemic. I'll give you some examples of those that are homegrown, as I would say, here in the US by Filipino Americans. One is Filipino Shopping Network. Filipino Shopping Network offers, a lot of Philippine-made products from mostly non-food, from Filipiniana wear to accessories. Same with Barong Warehouse. They also offer, Filipiniana, and you can buy them online. And Barong Warehouse actually has a vendor program where they could onboard. If you, for example, have a product that you would want to be sold online, you could go through barongwarehouse.com if it's a Filipino-made product, and then they would help you sell your product online. There's also shopsarisari.com, which is a online shop for anything that is all that we miss in the Philippines, mostly food products. You could buy your suka, your toyo, anything that you would need to cook your adobo. And then lastly, I would like to highlight balikbayan.com. So balikbayan.com is a site where you could order food for delivery for your families or your friends, for your loved ones in the Philippines. So you could order from various restaurants, from Jollibee, from Max's, all of these restaurants that are in your area in the Philippines, and then you can buy it from here in the US, have it sent over in the Philippines to your loved one. So these are some of the online businesses that you wish to consider to go into. Next slide, please. Then, of course, real estate. Real estate is always a good venture. I would consider Dr. Paz's venture in the Philippines as part of this also, real estate. Of course, we all start usually through residential real estate. A lot of condominium units are being built and sold in the Philippines. You could buy real estate for your own use when you go back to the Philippines for good. You can also buy it, in the meantime as a rental property. The amount that you would spend on a 2-bedroom here in the US would probably give you around easily 2 or 3 2-bedroom units in the Philippines. So you could have this investments, and then it can be self-liquidating as well if you have it as a rental property. So next slide. Stocks and bonds, of course. The Philippine Stock Exchange has been performing quite well compared to its peers in Asia. So you could always go for blue chip stocks, like some of this company logos displayed here. You can do it online, and then, of For bonds, the Philippine government from time to time issues bonds. The last one I think is the retail treasury bonds. Usually the gains from these bonds are above inflation rate, so you could at least cover the cost of money. So if you have money that you could you're not using, and you would want to, you're not using in the Philippines, you want to park it somewhere, you could choose to park it in the stock exchange also, or in the bond market. Next, of course, agriculture. Wherever I have been posted, especially urban areas, usually Filipinos that I talk to, they dream of coming back to the Philippines, and they dream of having a farm, coming back to their provinces, having a small plot of land, live a peaceful life as a farmer Jose or farmer Juana. So they wanna grow plants, grow crops. So especially if you're growing high value crops, a lot of these products are can be exported abroad. For example, bananas, mangoes, even our calamansi is being known worldwide. Ube, for example. Everything now is ube is all the rage here in the U.S. And we seem to be having supply troubles because of the demand. So agriculture is always a good business to bet on. I think this is the last one that I would want to talk about, and these are my contact details. I would stay on for question and answer, and I would just like to mention that the Philippine government offers incentives for certain investments in the Philippines, and there are also other government agencies that give incentives. For example, the Department of Labor has a reintegration system. Reintegration meaning if you are an overseas Filipino worker and you want to go back to the Philippines for good, you would be given resources, training even, to start your own business or have a livelihood when you go back to the Philippines. So all of this we could discuss later on in the Q&A.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you, Commissioner Eric. Yeah. More and more, I'm doing a lot of engagement with Commissioner Eric because he's a very good resource. So during the time that I was doing this live stream since October, I started asking him, also reaching out to him for resource or reference, because I'm also looking for investors who would be interested on building in the Philippines. So if you have something like that, if you need some help or need some resource, always reach out to our consulate, whether it's in San Francisco or in LA. The Philippine Trade and Industry, the Philippine Trade and Investment sector of our consulate is the one that really would help you start something in the Philippines too. Whether it's in here to develop something, for Filipinos to develop here, or for us to bring our resources in the Philippines. It is the Philippine Trade Commissioner that helps us on that. Okay, so don't be shy. This is their job. It's not like you're asking them a favor, because this is something, the moment that they can give something to you and it grows and it turns out into something, it is an accomplishment for them. Okay, so reach out to our commissioner. He's very, very approachable and very resourceful. He thinks about you, especially if you remind him through emails of what you're looking for. Whether you want to develop a real estate, or you want to develop a business, or you have a thought, because we are exposed to all kinds of technology. So if you have an idea or a technology or a brokerage that you would like to introduce to the Philippines, reach out to him, because there's also a lot of people who are looking where to invest on, and there's the commissioner also talks to them. So it is a matching game, finding out who can be a good pair for your project and who is willing or who has the resources to help you put that together. Okay, so Commissioner Eric, at this time, I know that our administration is very, very aggressive on bringing in investment projects in the Philippines. Can you tell us a little bit an overview of what's going on there right now? Because I know that there's a lot of railways, bridges, roads that are being built, and I was just there like for the last year. I was there 4 times, and every time I go, come back, there's always something new. So can you tell us something that is really exciting that we should know? Because right now the peso, it's starting to get strong again. Our exchange is we get more for our dollar. So
So, as you know, there's a lot of infrastructure projects being implemented in the Philippines. It started with the previous administration. They called it build, build, build.
yeah.
Now I think it's build back more or something like that, or build better more.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, it's an infrastructure update. A lot of our physical infrastructure are outdated, so we have to improve them. There's even one new airport being constructed in San Miguel, Bulacan.
Oh,
I think,
in Bulacan, actually, yeah.
yeah.
In Bulacan,
So
yeah.
um, it will go online, I think, in 2025 or 2026.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a subway project being built in Metro Manila, straddling, I think, Makati, Taguig, the cities. So every time you go back to the Philippines, I'm sure you will be pleasantly surprised about the new infrastructure that you see. All the tollways, all the new bridges, physical infrastructure. And not only the physical infrastructure, we're also updating our internet and digital infrastructure to keep up with the times. We're becoming a center for data center hub in Southeast Asia. So a lot of things going on in the Philippines now, and this, of course, will bring with it opportunities for investors.
Yeah, very good. Okay, so right now, Ferdy is going to show us another ad or another information about Philippine.
Libre remittance at mataas na exchange rate? With Bayani Pay, mas secure na, mas mura pa! Ang Bayani Pay ay bank-to-bank transfer na walang middleman kaya mas maaasahan. Sa registration, kailangan lang mag-scan ng ID at mag-selfie para sure na ikaw talaga yan. At pag nag-connect ka na ng bank account, huwag kang mag-alala dahil di namin ini-store ang bank details mo. Sigurado na darating ang remittance mo dahil kumpleto ang information ng iyong recipient. Remit na with Bayani Pay!
Okay, so again, I would tell the audience, thank you for watching us, and if you can let us know where you're watching from, that would really be helpful for us, and let us know if this is helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to put it in the chat box or send it to us. Even if it's in the recording, you can always send a question to us, and we will get back to you. Okay, so can we bring in also Dr. Paz? We would like to maybe chat a little bit together, and what I would like to do now is to ask Dr. Paz, when you moved in here 2018, you decided to move to the Philippines already for good. How did you do it? Did you bring in a lot of stuff here? Can you tell us your journey on that? Were you able to move a lot of things here? How did you work it with the customs?
I tried to bring some
Dr.
swimming
Paz,
pool.
in the camera because you get go.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
right
I
there, right
tried to bring some swimming pool materials from the U.S., but customs gave me a problem. I was levied so much tariff taxes that it was not worth it. So I've also learned not to bring your 110 equipment because it's 220 here. A lot of my staff killed a lot of my expensive equipment, baking equipment, and radios,
Yeah,
TVs. It's
that's
not worth
okay
it.
with
Buy
me.
them here. And I
Yeah,
hope customs could be improved because I could have brought a lot, like a container, but customs was not very friendly.
yeah, yeah.
Well,
I mean,
Doc,
they levied so much taxes on the glue that was used for the swimming pool. I said, this is ridiculous. I hope they could change all the custom tariffs because it's frightening. And
Yeah.
I think in goods coming out of the Philippines to the U.S., not so much restriction, but so much restriction for people who want to come in and bring business, their goods from outside, and because the customs need to be rechanged and
Good point.
rehabilitated.
Yeah, yeah.
if
Hey,
I could,
yeah,
throw in my 2 cents. So I understand that balikbayans are entitled to ship their personal goods and household effects.
easily.
Even one container of it, and including a car.
Yeah,
You just have to secure an import permit. But of course, you have to pay taxes for the car. For the personal goods and household effects, there's no taxes that should be levied. Now, maybe customs when you bring this personal goods and household effects, make sure that it is really what your house here in the U.S. contains, and then you want to bring them to the Philippines. So usually, what they would do is they would put the car first if you're bringing home a car, and then put all the household goods and personal effects, so that when your container gets to the Philippines, they would deliver first the household goods and personal effects to your house, and then the car would come in later because they would have to compute the taxes that have to be levied. Now, you also have to carefully study for example, for the car. No, I was in a conversation earlier this week with a gentleman who wants to bring home his car. It was a gift by his children, but it's a fairly new car. It's even a Mercedes Benz and very low mileage. So I think the shipping agent already told him that it would cost a lot in terms of taxes to bring it home. So again, there's this sentimental value that we want to put on things, but sometimes you have to be practical because that same item, or for example that car, maybe it will be cheaper if he buys a new one in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Instead of just bringing home a used car that would be levied high taxes because it's a luxury vehicle or because it has a big engine or something. So we have to be very purposeful when we think about these things, and make sure that when we bring home stuff, it's really household goods and personal effects. So if you want to bring it back for business, you could always register with, for example, the Board of Investments, or there's also another one for the tourism TIEZA, Tourism Investments Economic Zone Authority. So they could give incentives, and some of the incentives that they offer are tax-free importation of raw materials or equipment that you would need for your business. So I guess it just has to go through the right procedure, and make sure you don't mix things up. If we also had an experience before, a Filipino American, but this was before I joined the DTI. I was with the Philippine Retirement Authority. You've heard of that agency. Anyway, he assumed that they could just bring home a car without getting an import permit. So he put his car, including his household goods and personal effects, in the container. So when it arrived at the customs, they saw the car; it was not declared. So, it got impounded. So we have to follow the procedures, and if we want to bring home a car, let us know. We could guide you in terms of the procedure. It actually goes to the Department of Trade and Industry as well, our department. So we could give you the procedure to get an import permit to bring home your car from the US to the Philippines.
Very good. Yeah, you see, these little things here that you pick up from this conversation, it is really important to have the knowledge and the preparation. Don't just haphazardly pack or shop without you knowing what are the implications on it. Because of course, the Philippines, the way they look at it, their mindset is that they want to protect the local business in the Philippines. And a lot of these items that sometimes we bring in here are already in the Philippines. So you're basically competing with the local businesses over there. But of course, for us, the way we see it is that it's more convenient, and we are more comfortable because we are already familiar with a certain brand or with the certain things that are here, bringing it to the Philippines. When we move there. There's a lot of people who are building their homes, or maybe creating their condos, or doing their interior design for their homes, and they bring in all kinds of appliances and stuff. And by the time they bring it there, they realize that it's not adaptable based on whatever materials they have there too, the kind of people who are going to work on it, and also the quality that we have. Sometimes the quality is too high that sometimes it doesn't match whatever is available there. So again, bottom line is, find out first, learn, reach out to people like us, like me, like Commissioner Eric. We can give you a lot of this information. So anyway, to wrap up our conversation here, you can always reach out to us. Now that I have introduced to you guys Dr. Paz, I'm sure from the Bay Area, from Daly City, a lot of people can recognize you. Hey, there's our doctor. Now she's a resort owner. There she is. And also Commissioner Eric. There's also in the different consulates, there's always a corresponding commissioner for the Philippine Trade and Investment. You can reach out to them. So for me, as a broker, I also have experience where there's a lot of Filipinos here in the United States who have acquired properties in the Philippines, and because we had this amnesty for the extrajudicial partition, where you have to transfer your title from one generation to the next, to the heirs. That is very, very busy right now. And I've been helping a lot of our kababayans also doing that. That way they can have a little bit of cash coming out from the Philippines. They can use it here in United States, or they can use it in the Philippines to start something, buy a small condo, consolidate the assets they have there, and then buy a little condo there, or maybe buy a business, buy a 4-unit complex, and start something with the cash that they got. So feel free to reach to us. I have my information here in the bottom, and Halika Tours have her emails. You can always email Dr. Celeste Paz, and she still does some medical missions. Are you not in the local level, right? You still
Right. Yeah. I'm doing books for the barrios type of thing. If you want to donate children's books to the elementary schools, we're doing that drive of donation of books. So any visitors, tourists, people coming back, always put some luggage space for donations of books for the children or young adult books, because they really heavily need that.
Yeah, so reach out to us. We have different ways of doing that, where you don't have to pay for the fare. Balikbayan boxes are really expensive right now. So anyway, tonight we're wrapping up. Thank you for watching, and I hope that you picked up some information here that you can use for your plan. Again, my intention here with this topic is especially for our kababayans, so our baby boomers, if you want to downsize, if you want some cash flow, even during this time of pandemic, not pandemic, but during this time that we have a lot of inflation, interest rate are high. There are different ways of freeing up some of your asset. There's seller carryback, seller financing. If you want to sell some of your properties, you can be the bank, you know, um, instead of you putting your money in the bank that earns like 1% or 1.5%. That's one thing. You can do a reverse mortgage where you don't have to pay your mortgage payment anymore on the house that you live in, or the next house that you buy. You can always ask that from me. If you want to transition, whether it's locally here in California, or if you want to move out of state, I can help you with that. I have a network of agents that I work with that can hold your hand and feel comfortable, or we can talk and we can, you know, um, assist you both from where you're moving out and where you're moving to. Whether that's in Philippines or in other states, here in the United States, or even in the other countries. Because as a certified international property specialist, I do have networks in the different countries of the world. So because it's a global economy now and it's global, you know. Here again, thank you for this platform. Thank you to Ferdy and to his company Emporium. Thank you to Mr. Eric Elnar for giving us this time and all this information. And also, of course, to my friend, I look forward to visit you again in Palawan. Okay?
Okay.
I look forward to that. Thank you so much and have a good night in California and magandang umaga at malapit ng manananghalian sa Pilipinas. Okay.
All right. Bye bye.